Okay, first graders, we are going to do some more math that uses patterns that we've already learned. Nothing really new is happening here. But if you didn't learn it when we were doing it with simpler numbers, then the bigger numbers are going to be trickier. But if you worked on your skills with adding and subtracting, as we were doing it earlier in the year with small numbers, this is going to be simple. We just have to find the patterns. So let's look at a few together, okay? So I'm going to write down a couple of math problems here. We're going to do 3 minus 1 equals what? What is 3 minus 1? 2. Good. How about 5 minus 2? What does that equal? 5 minus 2 is 3. Well done. Let's do one more. 7 minus 3. What does that equal? 4. Good. Okay, as you can see, this is just normal subtraction like we've been doing since the beginning of the year. So let's model that, okay? So the first one is 3 minus 1. So I'm going to start with 3, and if I take 1 away, I'm left with 2. Okay, the next one says 5 minus 2. So again, I'm going to start with 5, and if I take away 2, I'm left with 3. Finally, we have 7 see if we can make sure we can see all of those. Okay, so I have 7 minus 3 leaves me with 4. Okay, so we can model that, we can show that, and prove that our thinking is correct. Well, just like we did with addition, we can put in place of those ones, we can start talking about tens instead. So if I have 3 tens and I take away 1 10, I will be left with 2 tens. Let's model that and make sure it's true. Here I have 3 tens. If I take away 1 10, I am left with 2 tens. The pattern didn't change, we just changed what we were modeling with, which place value we were focused on. Okay, let's make sure it stays the same here. 5 tens minus 2 tens equals 3 tens. Let's check. There are my 5 tens. If I take away 2 of them, I'm left with 3 tens. And the fact remains true here. If we know that 7 minus 3 equals 4, then we also know that 7 tens minus 3 tens equals 4 tens. Okay, so the pattern stays the same. 5 minus 2 is always going to equal 3. It doesn't matter if we're talking about ones, like we started, tens, how we've gone now, or even hundreds or thousands. If I have 5 hundreds and I take 2 hundreds away, I'm going to be left with 3 hundreds. So the patterns remain the same no matter which place value we are talking about. Okay, so let's turn these little phrases, these little definitions, into actual numbers. So what is 3/10? What number is that? Okay, 3/10 is the same thing as 30. Okay, what is 1/10? Just 10. And 2/10 is 20. 5/10, 50. 2/10, 20. 3/10, 30. 7/10 is 70. 3/10 is 30. And 4/10 is 40. But notice what stayed the same. Even when I turned it into 30, 10, and 20, we can still see 3 minus 1 equals 2. 50 minus 20 equals 30. We can still see 5 minus 2 equals 3. 70 minus 30 equals 40, but we can still see 70 or 7 minus 3 equals 4. The pattern is still there. All we've done is add the 0 to show that we're talking about groups of 10 now instead of just ones. The 0 is holding the place for the ones, so we can focus on the tens. Okay, so the only thing that changed is our focus is now on tens instead of ones. Everything else stayed the same. The rules apply no matter how big the numbers are getting. Okay, we keep the patterns. So that means that let's see how we can do with a couple on our own. Okay, if we have the math problem, 40 minus 20 equals blank. What are we really looking at? We're looking at 4/10 minus 2/10. And what is 4 minus 2? 1, 2, 3, 4 tens. Notice I drew them as sticks or tens. Minus 2, I'm left with 2 tenths. And what number is that? 20. 4 minus 2 equals 2, just like it always has. We're just turning our focus to tens instead of ones. Let's do another one. 90 minus 30 equals what? Okay, well, what is the problem that we're really looking at? 9 tenths minus 3 tenths, right? We have 9 minus 3 that we're looking at. So I'm going to do my 9 tenths minus 3 tenths. What do I have left? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 tenths. And what number is that? 60. 9 minus 3 equals 6. All we've done is turn our focus to groups of 10 instead of 1. I hope that you're noticing how much these patterns really do show up, and I hope that this is becoming simpler for you and that you're going to just do fabulous on your work today. Good luck. Happy learning.